I'm good.
It's probably because you're going on vacation here in the next few days.
Yeah.
That's why you showed up on time.
Yeah, so I try.
Yeah.
Gotta get everything done. The faster I get this started, the faster I can actually pack.
And then you come back with tons of stories.
Yeah, 3 days worth, 2.5 days worth of memories, stories.
I love it. You're going on vacation. You're going down to the Bermuda Triangle. Where are you going?
Yeah, Georgia. Going down to Georgia.
Close enough.
Yeah, right.
Close enough.
Welcome
to the low blow. Ballz is already in vacation mode.
Yeah, if I had a sombrero, I'd wear it.
Senioritis, I guess you could say, like the last few hours before you're like, freedom.
That's exactly what it was. This like 2-hour gap between when work ended and this show. I was like, ah.
Yeah, you're mentioning before that you were like a little scatterbrained trying to figure out where you wanted to go.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, I gotta get all the stuff done before I leave work, and I was all over the place today.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it happens. Don't worry, I'll take care of all of your wrestling audio functions for you.
Oh, thank you. I completely forgot about all the stuff I don't do for the website.
Yeah. So I'll make sure to not do that stuff.
Welcome
to the low blow, Mo Lightning, Ballz. I'm still getting used to that.
I need a sign up here on my wall to tell me which way to point.
I would suck as a weather person. As a meteorologist, watching clouds, I don't know, on a radar would be boring. But then, and today's highs around 98. I don't know.
But you have the name of a weather person. Like, I feel like that could get you a job, at least an interview for a weather.
That would get my foot in the door, especially if I lie on the resume.
Yeah.
But then soon, the first time they put me on camera, it's not going to be good because I'll have the suit and everything. I'll look pretty professional up top, and then probably forget to wear pants.
Or just wear things that are green so your chest green screens as well with the clouds and everything.
Sup, Anthony? He's here for the weather talk.
He is.
He's here to talk about my forecast. Be like, there's a chance of rain. There's a chance of snow. There's a chance of Godzilla. I don't know. I can't read the damn computer screens.
You have to be talking about Ohio because all of those are weather seasons for Ohio.
It is all very possible.
Yeah.
All very possible. Feel free to interact like Anthony just did. You can leave a comment live during the stream here. If you're watching this after the fact, you can still leave a comment. We'll just get to it later. Or if you're listening to the show, because we also put these out as audio podcasts, you can just reach us at Wrestling Audio on all of the usual socials, streaming live right now on 2 Facebooks, 2 YouTubes, and Twitch.
Whoa.
And who knows? They keep adding stuff, so who knows what will be next week.
You mean you took down our Periscope app? Man.
I stopped setting it up. But hey, I might do that too because I have so many spots to fill. There's still got to be some people using that, right?
God, I hope so.
We got lots of spots, as you see on the screen there. Download us, subscribe to us, give us likes, give us reviews if you can, because that actually helps spread the word. And if you want Devon on Table Talk to get even bigger guests than we have, we need those shares. So help us out with that.
Yes.
That's how that works. Anthony, listen to the Taker story, the Undertaker story about Kung Fu fighting. Yeah. Hilarious. Great story. That is on our socials if you haven't checked that out yet. But Ballz, I actually wanted to start off with something for you here. Because last week during so I do a 6 things list, Ballz does a high-low list.
Yes.
For the week in wrestling. Last week you had me show an image. You had me show a graphic.
Yes, I did.
And go ahead and tell us what that graphic was.
The graphic was a screen grab of basically Orange Cassidy's crotch in action figure form.
Right.
It was the fact they announced Jazzwares, the company that's making the AEW figures, announced that they are making hands. Yeah. Orange Cassidy hands. That's West Coast. I don't know what you're doing.
The Jazzwares.
Oh my God. This is where this has gone already. Orange Cassidy figure, hands like this, that goes into molded pockets. I can see you.
Oh, my bad.
You really don't know how these cameras work.
there's a chance of FU here in the Midwest. Well, the reason I bring this up and whatnot, because it's odd that you had us look at an action figure crotch as a part of the show. So I thought I would test and see if you can identify which action figure crotch this is.
That is, oh God, it's Pac. What the hell was his name in WWE?
This guy is a super dweeb because he's right. He's on the right path anyway.
Yeah. Oh man, he's the man that gravity forgot. Oh, Adrian Neville. Or Neville, depending on what time.
Look at him. Look at him go. He recognizes his wrestler crotches. Not just on TV, but in action figure form.
I try.
That's that Pac penis anywhere.
Hashtag Pac penis.
Yeah. Wow. I thought it was going to take you just a little bit longer, although going around my room of figures, it's hard to find a non-distinct crotch, because these guys are smart at marketing. They understand. Put logos everywhere.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe you wouldn't remember that one. I figured you probably would, not that quickly. But I'll get you. I'll stump you. I'll find one next week. I'll find a different action figure crotch for you.
It's going to be like Ted DiBiase from that Legacy thing where all they did was wear straight black.
Wow, Nathan knows pro wrestling crotches too.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to jump in with a pro? I thought about Roman Reigns with like the black pants. Yeah. But then like all of the women watching would be like, "Oh my God, that's Roman Reigns!" It's just like, okay, ladies, give Ballz a chance to do this now.
I'd be okay losing to, I'm fine losing to somebody, especially if it's a bunch of women who can identify Roman Reigns' action figure crotch.
I'm looking around like I'll find one. I'll find one to stump you, damn it.
It's gonna happen. Like, that's Rikishi. Like that's obvious.
There's I'll find one. I'm determined. I'm gonna find you one. You see the link at the bottom. That takes you to our Teespring store, where we just added a very suitable pro wrestling fanny pack, a wrestling audio one, and a wrestling audio face cover.
I like it.
So you can be Bane.
Yeah.
You merely adopted the darkness. I was born into it. So we'll get to your high-low list in a bit. I figure we'll get to 6 things right now, and we'll start with Billie Kay. Bye. All right, so she's not going anywhere. Billie Kay.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
Not going anywhere. But I'm worried about her only because Peyton Royce has been absolutely on fire recently. Like she's stealing all the screen time. She's doing new moves in the ring. She's going toe-to-toe with Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah.
And I actually feel like we may have a Shawn Michaels, Marty Jannetty situation developing here.
Ooh. I don't know. I agree with you because I admit Peyton Royce's new finishing move made my high list.
Okay.
But it was just good to see because almost, and I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but sometimes I think it's because of how good their characters are. Mm. You can forget that they are also really good in the ring as well.
Yeah.
So then when Peyton busts out something like that, you're like, oh, damn, girl. Like, it's
shocking.
Buster. Yeah. I was like, oh, damn.
We got Laura saying that she tuned in late, got here just in time for Roman and crotch action. So well done, I guess. A good timing.
Yeah. Whatever.
The universe was speaking to you there. But I'm worried about Billie Kay. I think Billie Kay is going to have to step up right now because I think WWE's like, oh, Peyton, you can do that? Okay, Peyton, you should do more of that. And,
yeah.
You know, and I love the Iconics, but it's only a matter of time before they break them up, they separate them, they do something, and Peyton's got the star power written all over her right now, and Billie Kay, nothing against Billie. I like Billie Kay, but she's going to fall behind, I think.
I think so. I agree.
Yeah. So that was first thing on my mind. No, I don't want to edit that. I just want to post it. There we go. All right. Donny Osmond once had a song, Lollipops, Lace, and Lipstick.
I mean, I believe you, but I'm also like, why do you know that?
I do music, man.
Music. So do I, but
No, you don't.
Okay, I don't anymore.
You haven't done music in like 15 years. You've forgotten more than you've actually ever learned about music.
That's pretty accurate.
And I suggest music to you, like you're down in the dumps. I'm going to suggest a song. You're like, I've never heard this band. Never heard of this band.
Oh, yeah. No.
I don't know these guys.
That's 100% accurate. But
and if we're going to be honest, I had to Google lipstick and lace song. And that's where I discovered that Donny Osmond is behind this one. There is a lipstick and lace song by a Dave Benoit and I can't remember the other person, but I'm like Chris Benoit and I don't remember Chris Benoit singing about that.
I feel like Prince should have a song about lollipops and lace. Possibly Lil Wayne. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of people that I feel should have a song like that.
Great idea from Nathan there, that if the Iconics do split up, maybe she joins or partners or something with the New Day to be able to continue playing off of the comedy. And I agree with that. Peyton could probably be more of a straight wrestler, but I think Billy really does benefit from the comedy. So I agree with that.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so this was about Lacey Evans, by the way, who was our guest on Table Talk this week. Yeah. And if you have not checked out the interview yet, she is passionate. Like, just thinking about her level of passion makes me tired right now.
All right.
She loves what she does. She had such a rough upbringing. So her story to go from rags to riches and to appreciate everything she has is outstanding. It's inspiring. And for her to always be at that level is something else. Like, we've had some incredible guests on Table Talk and in wrestling audio in general over the years. But she's one of them that I'm in awe of because of the passion flows through her so obviously that it's rare to find that.
No, that's fantastic.
And what threw me off even more ahead of time is, so I always have to ask Devon for our guest contact information so I can reach out to him. This is what's going to happen. This is how you connect to the show. You know.
Oh yeah.
When we used to do just the audio shows, I'm like, okay, I'm going to call you from this number at this time. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
Devon, for whatever reason, this week, like, he forgot to warn me that Lacey likes to be not just on time, she likes to be early. So I'm texting her, like, here's the link. If you could come on a few minutes early just to test your audio and visual, that'd be great. She goes, I'm already in. And this is like a half an hour before the show starts. And if also you saw the video, you saw the interview, I was orange yesterday. I don't know what the hell was up with my camera.
I saw that.
But I had an orange tint I could not get rid of. So she's waiting for me because I'm fighting with my damn camera. And so sure enough, I log in, my camera's orange, and there she is in queue on the bottom of my screen.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. The first one ready to go is the guest. So I quickly click on so I can like keep her, you know, I don't know, entertained, you know. Yeah, she was doing some other stuff. Yeah, I think she was checking messages and everything. Yeah. But that's when if nothing else, I know you as a collector, Ballz, you could appreciate that her background was a lot of collectibles.
I saw that, yeah.
Including a couple Lacey Evans items. And I'm like, I really like your background. I don't know if you could tell, but I appreciate your background. She goes, yeah, a lot of it's me. I'm like, I think that's cool. I would absolutely do that. I think to me, you reach the pinnacle when you actually have an action figure with articulation.
Yep.
You know, people are like, well, you have a little like 6-inch statue, Mo. That's good. I'm like, no, there's no kung fu action there.
There's no grip.
Yeah. There's no, clothesline action or anything like that. So, so we're talking about that. And I'm like, is your figure out or can only get it online? And I'm like, is it in stores yet? Because I haven't seen it. She goes, yeah, it's in stores. She goes, but I haven't seen it. And what was funny, something that was not mentioned on the show, during the recording, while we were streaming live with Lacey Evans, her husband and daughter were going to local Targets and Walmarts looking for her. And the ones that she had in the back, she said that they found, but she has yet to find herself in store.
That's amazing.
And so that's like the next milestone Lacey Evans is looking forward to, is finding herself for the first time.
I mean, you say that, and I'm sitting there going, I haven't seen that wave or Lacey at all in stores yet. So I'm surprised. I didn't know it was available, but I love the fact that her family's just driving around trying to find her.
Yeah, since she was busy, she couldn't do it. They were going out looking for her toy.
Yeah.
So if you're in the South Carolina area and you can't find Lacey Evans anywhere, it's because she probably already has. And also that character you got on screen on the TV in the ring and the Lacey Evans you got in the interview, that's her. I'm like, that's obviously an amplified version of her, but even before, Devon was the last one to click on, of course. Every week is the last one to click on.
Shocking.
Never fails. So me and Lindsay are talking to Lacey for 10, 15 minutes before the show even starts, and Lacey's making fun of both of us during this time. I remember Lindsay had a mug, a cup of something about Born Awkward or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you think? You like my mug, Mo? And I couldn't read it. The camera wasn't focusing.
Yeah.
Like, what does it say? Oh, that's something about awkward. And Lacey, without a second's hesitation, goes, oh, honey, I didn't need that mug to know that about you. and she curses a lot also. So if you haven't listened to the Lacey interview, she's like, she drops the F-bomb. And then she's like, can I say that? Oh, F, I don't care. I will anyway. It's just like, she's something else. So, and I know one of our most dedicated listeners, Michelle, told me ahead of time, I really hope it's a good interview. I'm on the fence. I don't really like her character, but I hope I like her.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll like her. I mean, that's, I think Lacey's going to make some fans from this episode. So if you haven't checked it out yet, you should do so.
Awesome.
6 things on my mind. Number 3. Ooh, that stings. And this is actually from a tweet that he put out this week where people are thinking that Sting, and I'm not talking the musician. All right. We did just go from Lollipop's Lacey, Lace and Lipstick, and I'm talking that Sting. I'm not talking that guy that has like 7-hour tantric sex. No, I'm not talking that Sting. I'm talking good old pro wrestling Sting that has 20-minute sex. All right. I don't know if that's true. I don't. That's not fair.
In full crow makeup.
Well, obviously.
That's the only way you're going to do it.
And it's got to end when it starts melting off of his face and whatnot. You're done. You're done. No more.
You hit your wife with the buckle bomb and you're done.
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. I was worried about this was going to be like some sex comment here, but no. Not Sting, but Lacey stole Jared's heart yesterday. Understandably so. She's a badass. She's badass and she's awesome. Anyway, Sting is fueling rumors that him and Undertaker could have some sort of involvement. I think it's just him messing with people.
Yeah.
But others think that this is a sign.
Oh, see,
So who wants to take a last ride with Sting and then a classic 80s?
Yeah.
Classic 80s something right there.
See, it probably was meant to be taken how you took it. I took it as Sting wants to have a last ride style documentary done about himself.
Which is possible too. I don't see too many people doing that, but you may be absolutely right about that.
Yeah,
and a Sting documentary in those regards would be great.
Yeah.
But only if cameras are actually following him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in the NBA, Magic Johnson's going to get one, which he's got a fascinating story, but this was one of those reactionary, hey, I want a documentary too.
Yeah.
And the cameras haven't been following him like they did for Michael.
Yeah.
Or Undertaker or any of those guys. So if he's got enough footage, if there's enough behind the scenes stuff, cool. I'm all for a last ride documentary for Sting. Otherwise, it's just more Sting telling stories.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nathan, the Stinger. He went full Michael Cole there. Better than going full Seth Rollins and injuring him.
Ooh,
how dare you? Not CrossFit Jesus. Don't do that. No.
Too soon.
Yeah, so, but let me ask you this question. if Undertaker's not retired, which we've had that debate and we'll continue to have this debate until he comes out of retirement, and I'm right.
Okay.
Can Sting Undertaker work in 2020, 2021? No. Not even as a Boneyard match-esque, cinematic, pre-recorded, take breaks between sort of match?
I mean, possibly. Okay, but back to you for a second. If you got that type of Boneyard-esque cinematic match, would you be happy with that? Or would you be like, oh man, I wish this was regular. I wish this was a regular wrestling match.
Yeah, at this point, I think I want cinematic between them. I don't know if I want a wrestling match between them. Me personally.
I feel like
years ago, yes. Now I'm like,
I feel like because of the age and because of the just, they're older at this point. Try to be nicer about it, but they're just older.
They're geriatric. The Undertaker's close to death is what Ballz is trying to say. I mean,
let's be honest. The Undertaker has always been close to death. It's kind of his character.
Well played.
Yeah, no, I feel like it would, if it happened, it would have to be cinematic to make it happen.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think that it would happen.
I think at this point, that's one of those matches you just leave alone.
Yeah.
Last time WWE tried to give us a dream match with The Undertaker and Goldberg, it did not work out too well.
He almost died.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say pass on it and just let us speculate forever of what could have been rather than giving us something that could disappoint at this point.
Yes. Yep. Exactly.
But, Sting, he's good. He knows how to get people talking, people chattering, which leads us into 6 things number 4, WWE's least wanted.
Ooh.
Which is in regards to the people that were let go recently.
Ooh, this has potential. Okay.
Well, it does have potential. And what I like about this, the least wanted idea, is that you got a big Impact Wrestling pay-per-view coming up. You have AEW who, will want to sign the right free agents. And you got stars coming and going. And the smart ones right now are having a lot of fun with it. Heath Slater talking that, on July 18th? Is that the...
I think so. 18th or 19th is when they're... Yeah.
Just talking about how, I'm getting ready for the 18th or the 19th. And then Gallows and Anderson having fun with it. You have EC3, who is teasing AEW.
Yeah.
If you're a free agent, you should be teasing everybody right now. You should be Lucha Underground's coming back, and I'm going to be part of
it. No, you absolutely should. You're absolutely correct. I mean, everyone should be gaining buzz off of this. If you can, you should be.
I mean, it's one thing, like, if you're signing, if you're Heath Slater, if you're the Ninja, and you're going to Impact Wrestling, you can't announce it, or you want it to be a surprise. You want to tease, but you don't want to give too much.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you're EC3, you should be, like, every company possible. You should be having fun with this.
I say EC3 in promos has mentioned Impact, Ring of Honor, and AEW at this point.
Yeah,
like, he's having a really good time with it,
and he should keep going. And that's exactly what he should do, because that's how you get people talking. That's how you get people buzzing when you're a free agent in this industry. And there's enough of those stars out there. I think that works to their advantage. You got somebody like Maria Kanellis who is dwelling on being let go from WWE. And hey, I get it. I'm sure that's heartbreaking. But where these others are still building their brand and really like, hey, where are you going to see me next? The Kanellises are a little bitter, and it's disappointing because I really think those guys could easily be near the top of that hype if they really wanted to, because they're so good. But
no, they could easily be milking that, and they would fit in great back at Ring of Honor or back at Impact Wrestling.
Yeah. Push John Oliver. Oh, that's not what he said. It's not John Oliver, but also. Nathan wants to know if we had a preference to which version of Sting or Taker. Like if we were going to get a match.
Ooh.
A lot of say Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, gets to book the match. And we get any era
all of them
we want.
All of them.
I mean, I think you got to go for classic Deadman against typical Crow Sting.
And it would have to be. I was trying to pick some crazy like Sting with his motorcycle and 80s pink stuff against the American Badass, but no. Like,
I mean, if you're gonna have such an iconic match, you need to go with the iconic looks. I think at this point, unless you want to go very old school, that you got the dead man, the phenom Undertaker with the very original look against the blonde cut Sting.
Yeah.
And go like 80s retro. Okay. Ideally, if it was me, it'd be American Badass versus the TNA Impact Sting, the Joker.
Oh, the Joker Sting. Yeah.
But that's me, and I want basically stuff that nobody else wants. So
that's legit. Yeah. No, but I think you'd have to go. AJ Styles Undertaker worked. His look worked because AJ Styles attacked Taker personally as Mark Calloway. So he could be a more regular person, combining the American Badass and kind of the Undertaker looks together and just getting Mark.
Right.
Whereas Sting Taker you wouldn't think would be that personal. It would be more supernatural.
Hey man, I never wrestled you.
Yeah. Hey man, there's a payday in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Big payday. Yeah.
Big payday. I think you'd have to go vintage Dead Man. Classic Crow Sting for sure.
What about you, Nathan? Who would you pick? You let us know, or anybody else that's commenting if you have an opinion on that. But anyway, with the Least Wanted, these guys having a blast with it. A lot of these stars having a blast with it. And I really am anxious to see where some of these stars are going to fall.
I did see that. I think it was Sarah Logan has basically said she's done with wrestling.
Yeah, for now, she'll be back. She'll be back.
I would think so.
Done for now. A lot of them need a break. After, I mean, you lost a lot of, this is a dream job. WWE and pro wrestling is a dream job for so many. So when you do lose that, sometimes you do need to reset. You need to take a step back from it. So, and who knows, maybe it's better for her because she's also married to somebody in the industry, in the company still. So is that Sarah Logan, or I think it's someone else? Or did I just lose it? Okay, I just lost him. Okay, I just thought I was, So I'm gonna move on without that guy since he's frozen. Yeah. All right. So classic Dead Man Crow Sting, my choice too. Curious to hear potentially different answers. No, I think you got to go with that. I think we just I have a stare off. I'm gonna lose this stare off though because of that. All right, so I'm just gonna remove him. I'm done with him. He can reconnect when he wants to. I'm gonna kick him. I'm gonna kick him out. So he's got to reconnect now. Technology. I love it. I love technology. Anyway, 6 things right here, which I was really looking forward to getting his reaction. Who knows? Maybe you have a reaction to it as well. Hellfire and Brimno. Hellfire and Brimno in regards to Kane. Have you seen Glen Jacobs, mayor of Knox County? Have you seen that? How there was 8 members of the team that were voting about an ordinance requiring face masks in the county inside buildings, important buildings, not every building, just important buildings like the courthouse and stuff like that. One person voted no for masks. And can you guess where I'm going with this one? One person said no out of the 8-person panel. And that one was a guy who has worn a mask his entire career. Here, here we go. All right. So a guy who used to wear a mask, like when he started. I know the damn camera's not focusing, but yeah. So Kane is the one that says, no, I don't want to wear a mask. Really, Glen Jacobs? That's just so odd. The one guy is the one guy that did his whole. You back now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I heard there was a loud noise outside, and then my internet went dead.
That's like all of a sudden you just like were staring at me. I'm like, did I get some information wrong?
The best part is, on my end, it looked like you froze, and then I was going, all right. And then my whole Wi-Fi went down. I was like, all right.
It's appropriate, though I had just put this graphic up.
Yeah.
Hellfire and Brim, no. You're like, no way, girlfriend, I'm out.
Nope. Screw Kane, I'm out.
Yeah. I was just saying, I don't want to reiterate and go through the whole thing again. But I will say, 8 people, Knox County, got to vote on a mask ordinance in important buildings.
Yes.
Kane was the one that said no. 7 said, yeah, you should wear a mask indoors. Kane, the guy who wore a mask for decades.
Yeah.
Wrestled matches 5, 10, 20 minutes in length. Is that why he said no? Because he's like, no. It's like he
PTSD.
got WWE PTSD.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. That's so he's like, oh, I can't do that.
As soon as the title popped up, I knew exactly what this was because I had read it, but I had not read the specifics of important buildings and things like that. It was just Kane says no to an ordinance about masks. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, and it's only in select buildings. I mean, it's questionable. Some people applaud him for it. I just think it's odd that he's the one that said no.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Keeping politics out of it.
Yes.
The idea that Kane said no is the alarming part. Yes.
You got it. Yeah, you got it. All right. Last thing on my mind here. I like to do one topic that's not pro wrestling related. I'm putting you on the spot here, Ballz. Gun to your head. You have to recite one movie word for word. What is it? What's your go-to movie to save your life?
That I could say, but I don't know that I could recite one movie word for word.
You don't have any movie that you just love that much that you know.
Oh, like, I mean, yes, I could recite Bad Boys, the original Will Smith, Martin Lawrence movie, verbatim. I don't know that I can do it. Not right now. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe just say, hey, okay, you got a gun to my head. You got a DVD player right there. Can you throw it in? I want to say it along with them.
I was going to say, if I can get it started, like you tell me right now, all right, start. And I'll be like, bah, 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 and it's like a Porsche driving over a Miami bridge. I don't know. Yeah. Then I'm storytelling about it. And then what happens? Armed guards, criminals come up and try to carjack Mike Lowry and Marcus.
Oh, yeah, we're getting the whole script here. We're getting the whole screenplay.
Yeah, you could. That's it. I know it. Gun to my head. I don't know that I could recite it word for word.
What does the background look like? Is there palm trees?
Oh, of course.
Sunny,
palm trees. Nothing like what you would look like if you were doing a weatherman. Beautiful. Miami. Yeah, it's fantastic. Sexy ladies in short dresses and bikinis. It's great.
Okay. All right. Now what? That makes sense why you like that movie so much. Pervert. Yeah.
Okay. Back at you. Gun to your head. Recite movie word for word.
Office Space.
Yeah. I could have known. I should have known that.
Starting with the traffic jam as they're trying to go to work, and the old guy in the walker is going and making more. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Office Space in a heartbeat. With a close second being Anchorman, which they finally announced. Finally, 7 years later, we're getting pops.
Yeah. Aren't they all 5 the same character, though?
No.
No?
No. 3 are Ron Burgundy.
Okay.
1, you got Brick, the weather guy.
Yeah.
Steve Carell. And then you have the Paul Rudd character.
Okay.
Who that Funko, that toy is a scented one because he's probably have his Sex Panther on. Yeah.
Okay. When I saw the
Brian Fantana, I think that's his name.
When I saw the graphic, I must not have looked close enough at it because I really thought we were getting 5 Ron Burgundys, and I was like, "What?"
No, but it's like a 5-pack. But for anybody that does not know, I was very excited because Anchorman was supposed to be one of the first non-superhero, non-sport that they did again about 7 years ago. And then they canceled it for whatever reason, and that broke my black little heart.
My black little heart.
That really disappointed me. Nathan, Dumb and Dumber, good choice, and Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Back to the Future, Wayne's World, almost every word, which we won't hold that against you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost every word.
He probably headbangs off key for Bohemian Rhapsody too.
Hopefully, yeah, obviously. So that's all I got on my end. I don't have any fancy graphics for you, unfortunately. All I have is this. That's all I got for you, buddy.
Neville Crotch.
Yeah, that's all I got. Highs and lows
wrestling for this week in pro wrestling. Highlight number 6. I just noticed my little dudes. I'm still pointing the wrong direction.
It's your segment, so
I know
you get.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Trent no longer Beretta in AEW. Number 6 highlight goes to the fact that his mom drove them to the ring for Fyter Fest.
I think you're gonna get booed for that.
No, because it's not up higher.
It's not up higher, yeah. Oh my god, I could not escape that on the internet today, especially on Twitter. Like every other tweet was that.
Yeah, I know. That's Twitter made it funnier because it was like his mom's tweet about how much she, his best moment of her life, driving them to the ring. I was like, this is funny. I enjoyed this when this came out. I was like, these guys know their like wholesome best friend character better than anyone else. It was great.
Yeah, I agree with that. Off topic, do I have space for more pops?
No, he doesn't really. Honestly,
I'll find space always.
He buys shelves.
I will make them do a damn cheerleading pyramid if I have to. They will.
He won't because he takes them out of the box, so they can't really do a cheerleading pyramid.
Yeah, they can. It's fine. I'll take care of this.
Yeah.
All right.
Show us.
Yeah. Go back to your list there, mama boy.
Mama boy. Oh man. Let me see here. Highlight number 5.
Are they in order? Did you write them down, or are you just randomly picking again?
Oh, I wrote more than 6 in case they affected your list. Right. So I'm altering my list as I go now. Highlight number 5. Thatcher Oni Lorcan on NXT. I thought the match was great. Brutal, fantastic. Started out really good as like a just classic mat style wrestling, devolved into a brawl. It was awesome. Multiple people on Twitter, Edge, Triple H, talk about how much they loved it and how much
better. I misspelled Ballz. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what the hell? Like I get it from other people, but you? Like really?
I wasn't looking when I was typing, and that's a problem.
Oh,
I suck at typing. So
got it.
So just the S and the Z are so close to each other.
That's true, I guess.
It is actually really on a keyboard.
Number 4 highlight goes to that moment in Raw that I text you about, where I realized that in the last month or so, you have interviewed an entire segment's worth of wrestlers on Table Talk.
I'm glad that you brought this up, especially the first time when you texted me. I'm like, what? Tell me more.
I'm sitting there watching Raw, and Apollo Crews is in the ring with MVP. Lashley comes out, and I'm going, Mo's had every single one of these guys on Table Talk. All right. Like that's a pretty cool moment. And then I text you and you're like, what's happening?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I was like, remember these 3 people?
I'm like, not on Table Talk. I've talked to this person like with Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, but no, you're right. You observed something that didn't even cross my mind. But hopefully as this keeps going, it'd be the whole damn show,
Yeah, we just start crossing people off.
Except for Tom Phillips. Except for him.
Yeah, why? Why Tom Phillips?
Yeah. I'd get Byron Saxton on before him. Sexy Byron Saxton.
Sexy Byron Saxton. Highlight number 3, Santos Escobar on NXT. I know in previous weeks I've compared him a lot to Andrade, and I feel like there is one non-masked gimmick that NXT goes with, and I do kind of still feel that way. But I appreciate what they're doing, and I think dude is super talented.
Right.
The only problem is when he moves up, or if they move up, now you're with Andrade, and you're like, okay, now how do I keep these guys the same but different?
Right.
So, I mean, that's obviously not a problem you have to have right now, but Santos Escobar and that whole group, I think, are going to be, we're starting to see maybe a pivot or a turn towards a couple different things in NXT. And some of the older stuff is going away. Some of the newer stuff is becoming more popular, which is pretty damn cool.
I agree with that. I was disappointed when they did away with the masks. I like the explanation of them wanting the spotlight for themselves, but I like it at least when WWE tries to bring in some Mexican wrestling lucha libre heritage into it. It gets quickly abandoned, but well, it happens. I like them though, so we'll see where it goes.
No, absolutely. Highlight number 2 goes to AEW for realizing exactly what they have with Chris Jericho on commentary. Number 1, he's just great at it. And he brings a life to it that very few do. WWE and NXT, AEW, anywhere.
Right.
He brings a whole just charisma to it. So much to the fact that they actually promote it now. Hey, instead of Chris Jericho's in a match, it's hey, Chris Jericho's on commentary
this week.
Yeah, guess who's coming back to commentary this week? They're smart about it. Oh, what? We wanna use it to help sell this pay-per-view? Fyter Fest, this branded event. Let's make it special. Put Chris Jericho on commentary the entire night and just let him go.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, without his little sidekick Sammy Guevara around, it gives Jericho something to do.
Right, exactly. Without having to explain why is the Sex Gods not around right now?
Yeah. And I mean, you still have the Inner Circle, and you still have him praising Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz. You just don't have them together in the ring, which is good because it's letting them kind of be themselves as well. Like Hager has his wife with him now. Santana and Ortiz are doing their thing.
Also have Hager's wife with them.
Yeah, it's super weird then. Yeah, it's very awkward now. Not for them. No, for Jake Hager in the back.
Jake likes that a lot. He likes to watch.
Breaking news.
I'm just speculating, but it's the truth. It's a fact.
It's all we do is speculate. Highlight number one probably has not happened in a very long time for me.
You got laid?
Oh, God, that would be definitely highlight number one for my week in wrestling. The Big Show on a show.
Laid on the Big Show? Ouch. I hope you were the pitcher.
Oh, God, dude. What the? Big Show talking crap on Raw is my number one. His whole character, everything about his show on number one. I messaged you during Raw, and I remember saying, Big Show is actually really entertaining because normally every week I give him crap for showing up.
You're like, oh, the Big Show.
The Big Show's back. Great. No, this time he called Andrade and the other one.
Wow. Angel
Garza. I was trying to think of his last name, and I couldn't remember it. I was like, but he called him Mercedes and
Ferrari and Maserati, maybe?
Ferrari and Maserati.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, all right. The best part is, like, aren't those Italian cars? Like, that's not even the same, the same thing, but it's great.
Yeah, and then him talking about, go ahead, hop on your friend's shoulder and say, that's my face.
In the eyes, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. It's just, he had comedic chops, but he also had an intensity to him that he was just pissed off at Randy Orton. And he wasn't taking any crap. And he ended up getting into a handicap match. And I don't know why he was on so many segments of Raw, but he made me laugh the entire time. And
probably. Like
that's the main thing, I think. It was weird.
He knows what to expect from him. No matter what his gimmick or heel face alignment may be, because that changes so often. Yep. But I think it's like there's so many young stars on the show right now. They know they can rely on him. Yeah. He's going to know what to do, and they could probably spend more time focusing to build and teach and mold the young stars.
That's what I think with COVID and then the accusations keeping people off TV. They've had to double up segments. Like Big Show wrestled twice, Garza and Andrade wrestled twice. Like you have all these things pulling double duty because your roster is thin.
You said duty.
I thought you were going to be like, you said double duty.
Well, you said duty again.
Low light.
On your low light list, how distracting Seth Rollins' promo was when he kept saying duty?
No, it wasn't.
I had a tweet about that because he said duty a lot at the beginning of that promo, and it was distracting.
He did make my low light list, though.
Okay. All right.
Low light number 6. Tegan Knox winning the number 1 contendership for NXT Women's Division.
You're like the one person that doesn't like this.
Am I?
Yeah.
No. See, and I feel like her character arc is still going, and she had this redemption storyline where she was injured multiple times.
Right.
She's fighting back. It's a real life redemption story where she's gaining this momentum that she's been that she had lost originally. Right. Facing Dakota Kai, all this stuff. I just don't feel like her character is as strong as like Candice LeRae going against Io Shirai. And maybe this is because like Tegan Knox is going to face Io because Candice and Mia Yim aren't done yet,
right?
Which you find out later on NXT that they're still going at it in the back and fighting. I just was like really assumed it was going to be one of the other ones that I thought had a stronger personal character. Where Tegan Knox, I don't think has much of a character. She has a great arc, and she's a good wrestler, fun person, but her character is lacking. Like what Tegan Knox actually is lacking.
I could see that. I'm wondering if this plays towards the greater story arc, though. If that
probably
is the fact that she got that title shot, she's on cloud 9, but she's not quite ready yet. Io Shirai is just this badass right now that Tegan will get back there, but maybe again that's a part of it where she fails, doesn't know where to go now, or Dakota Kai, the forever thorn in her side, starts mocking her for it. It's the slow season right now before they start building up to SummerSlam stuff. So I'm wondering if they just wanted a face, and maybe it's a test to see how she handles that main event spot, that women's main event spot, because maybe they do see a lot of potential in Lady Kane here. That but they're not quite sure if she's ready to run with the ball.
No, I agree with that. I do hope, and hopefully she develops more of an actual character going forward. That'd be cool too.
I agree with that. I'm all about characters.
Yes, you are. I know.
Motivation and direction. Oh, what a concept. What a concept.
Low light number 5. And I don't know if you noticed this because I didn't realize it until the very end of Fyter Fest.
Okay.
Not a single heel won a match.
I did not notice that.
I was like watching and I'm going, all right. Then I started thinking about it, going, okay. This wasn't a house show. Like you're allowed to have heels win.
It's not a WWE house show.
Yeah.
You don't have to send everybody home happy. Everybody's going to come back to work next week anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can do things where you can have heels win stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Fyter Fest next week the heels win every match. Even it out. Every single one. Just even it out.
That's how you do it. I mean,
now that you moved Moxley and Brian Cage off Fyter Fest, which I was kind of.
How do you feel about that?
I feel it's smart.
Okay.
I mean, the logistic reason I'm sure is Moxley needs to quarantine because Renee Young has COVID. Like, you would think you're going to push the match back 2 weeks so that he can quarantine for 2 weeks.
Right.
That it makes sense. You could have actually said that on the show and been okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, obviously they played it up as, he's scared. They're moving him back, whatever.
And sloppy. They don't have sloppy testing.
Sloppy testing, yeah. So, which I enjoyed Taz making fun of WWE, but no, I get that, and
I'm just curious. I'm just curious your thoughts. I mean, it's disappointing that they promoted it for Fyter Fest, but at the same time, it's not really a pay-per-view you're paying for. So,
and that's what the only thing I was trying to remember is Fight for the Fallen a TV special or a paid-for pay-per-view? That's what I did not look at.
It was, well, I don't know about this year. Last year it was a paid event.
Yeah, last year it was too, but so was Fyter Fest. So I don't know if my whole low light for 2 weeks from now could be, why are they doing branded events like 2 weeks apart?
Yeah, let's see if I Google that real quick. See if there's any info on that. Fight for the Fallen. God, I suck at typing. AEW 2020. All right. Does it have dates? Oh my God, internet.
You have failed us.
Oh my God. All right.
It's fine. We'll figure that out later.
Yep.
But
all right. So this says that actually Moxley and Cage was moved to Fight for the Fallen.
Yeah. It was moved to Fight for the Fallen. It was supposed to be at Fyter Fest.
I thought it was just moved to 2 weeks.
No, the way I read it was moved to Fight for the Fallen, which happens in 2 weeks.
And that would be on July 15th. And that is a Wednesday. So it looks like it's gonna be a free show. Yep. So, so we're all correct. We just different parts.
No, yeah. So it is funny though that they're doing multiple branded events like this. So it's like week 1 Fyter Fest, week 2 Fyter Fest Night 2. Week 3, Fight for the Fallen. Week 4, All In, All Out, Double or Nothing. Like,
yeah, and then you got Great American Bash Week 1, Great American Bash Week 2, Halloween Havoc Week 1, Halloween Havoc Weeks 2 through 5, hopefully.
Since you're talking about low light number 4.
Wait, are you giving a low light to Halloween Havoc?
Extreme Rules Horror Show.
Ah, okay, all right. Yeah. They actually named it last week, and I'm surprised you didn't have it on your list last week.
I didn't notice. I don't know what happened that I missed it, but
you were just trying to block it out.
I'm just mentally just blocking it out. I don't know what a horror show. I mean, I know what a horror show is, but Extreme Rules Horror Show, it almost set lofty expectations for what's going to happen at this pay-per-view. Also, its branding is bright-ass colors.
Like a blue and like a neon yellow green thing, yeah.
It's like horror show, like summer extravaganza.
Yeah, it's a fabulous horror show.
It's a fabulous. It should be in October. Horror shows should be in October.
You think so? Give you credits to that segue. I'm glad that we were able to bring Halloween Havoc and horror show in together.
Yeah.
It is interesting, especially when like Drew McIntyre is talking about it. Oh yeah, I'm getting ready for Extreme Rules horror show. Okay, if Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt are talking about it, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to let you pick the stipulation at horror show. If it's not a freaking bloodbath match somewhere, there's a problem.
If Dolph Ziggler's not picking a meat hook match, the first person to put their opponent on meat hooks, then what's the point?
Exactly.
It's not a true horror show.
No. We need just absolute.
You need a boogeyman. I mean, you need horror characters there then. You need boogeyman. You need more boogeyman. You need Papa Shango.
You need Lady boogeyman.
Yeah.
You need Kane just to show up as Jacob Goodnight. Like
right. And no mask.
No mask because it's Jacob. Yeah.
You have Sting show up with the face paint. Like horror show. You make it as such. They won't, but you need to do it.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone else, like Kazarni shows up.
He's a free agent. Why the hell not?
Yeah.
You let the New Day dress up. You just treat it like a Halloween event.
Yeah. Who cares? Yeah, I would hope so.
Who cares?
Low light number 3, and this is kind of more of an overarching one, and which may have wrapped up at AEW, but we don't know yet. Cody Rhodes' weekly open challenge.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Jake Hager, Cody Rhodes almost barely won this, really.
Right.
So much so that Jake beat up our referee. The open challenge concept, which I mean isn't new. Everyone does it at some point in time.
Even I've done an open challenge.
Yeah, I know. Yours is more like which fast food restaurant is going to challenge you to lunch that day. But
I win every time.
Well, I know you do. But
I win every time.
It doesn't let any storylines happen. So I'm hoping this thing with Jake and Cody maybe puts the open challenge on a pause for a little bit and lets an actual storyline take place instead of just guess who Cody's fighting this week. And while that's cool and you can see some new people, we saw Ricky Stark the first time.
Right.
It's fun to debut people, even surprise people. WWE's used it to bring back legends for random reasons. It can be fun, but there's no real long-term storyline potential. So I'm hoping that this kind of pauses for a minute and lets a storyline happen.
Okay. I could see where you're going with that one there. Because you're right. It could help build new talent. It can help really make a name for some of these young stars, put them on the AEW map. But you're right. Cody is too strong of a character just to do that week to week. So, he probably could be better used, at least storyline, personality wise, than he is right now. So, or he drops it one of these weeks and then moves on.
Yeah, and then maybe the other person, most likely a heel, is not going to continue an open challenge. Unless that's part of it being the TNT title, as it has to be
right.
done on
and
TNT.
Then you get the reluctant heel.
Yeah.
This is unfair.
Yeah. I'm going to face Marco Stunt.
Oh yeah,
Jungle
obviously
Boy.
you go with him. Yeah,
yeah. They always, anytime anyone has to pick their own opponent, it's one of those two.
as it should be. Yeah.
Low light number 2. This kind of ties into the segment that we were talking about with your monumental moment. Ricochet and Cedric Alexander finally make it back to Raw to be ragdolls for Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, it's not ideal for those guys.
No, and I'm hoping it progresses, that there's storyline continuing of it. You know, I still think that Ricochet and Cedric Alexander would be fantastic as the tag team that comes in with Bobby Lashley and MVP.
Right.
I don't know if that's exactly where their characters are right now, because just a hard pivot 180 against Apollo would not work right now.
No, unless it's MVP gets into their heads. So maybe it's not a 1 week turnaround, but maybe it's a matter of 3 weeks where, much like his offers to Apollo, okay, this is the last chance. All right, this is it. If you say no, you're against us. Maybe it's the same sort of storyline, but they accept it. After, he helps them win a match and they're back on TV and all this stuff. Right. Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, realistically, you need 2 guys that can take full Nelsons and just being thrown. Ricochet took some hard throws from Bobby Lashley. Yeah. And you're going, all right.
Just the idea of seeing Ricochet as a heel fascinates me, because
that's true.
Even at Lucha Underground, he was pretty much a face the whole time as Prince Puma. Coming into NXT and WWE, he's been a face. So I'm curious to see how he would do as a heel.
I would be very entertained by that. Yeah. Very interested. Especially an MVP-led Alexander and Ricochet would be fantastic against the Street Profits.
Right.
Because who knows if Andrade and Angel Garza are going to get their will they, won't they break up thing.
Right.
Will they even make it to the Street Profits? They would be entertaining. MVP's crew would be entertaining if that were to happen.
You just got to make sure you got enough faces to compensate. Yeah, because we got a lot of strong heels right now.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
That's why we're getting the Viking Raiders experience all over the place.
Yeah. War experience. I don't know what they're called.
Number 1 low light. I'm going to pose this as a question to you.
Ooh.
You brought him up a minute ago talking duty. Does the Seth Rollins Rey Mysterio storyline feel like a main event storyline to you?
Oh God, no. Oh God, no.
Okay. Yeah. No. And that's my low light, that something with Seth Rollins, the Monday Night Messiah, who was the biggest thing on Raw for months.
Mm-hmm.
Rey Mysterio is a legend, future Hall of Famer. It should feel bigger than it is. And obviously I think it's because of the Corona. It's because of, limitations on certain things. It's because of Seth Rollins is whoever is in the group rotates weekly now, apparently. There's more people that used to be in it than are actually in it at this point.
Let's just say it's no coincidence that there is a certain member of that stable missing on Raw this week, who then also was replaced on Table Talk this week.
Are you telling me that Lacey Evans is going to replace Austin Theory and Seth Rollins' faction?
Obviously.
I'm reading between the lines here.
Obviously.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten to the point that you're using Humberto Carrillo and Aleister Black as like surrogates. We're like, we want him to be fighting these people, but these guys are here.
And that's the problem.
Friends.
There's Dominic that's trying to step up to Seth and fought him 2 weeks ago, or not fought him, but took the fight to him. But there's been no follow-up since then, where Seth should be furious right now, or something. Like there is a disconnect, and I think it's probably because of COVID, where Ray's not in here every single week to do this stuff, and like you said, the disciples are coming and going so often, and it's not a lot of options at their disposal. I think the idea of this storyline is great. It's different compared to what WWE's offered us for the most part over the last couple of years.
For sure.
But I think the limitations of everything is just unfortunately not letting it hit its potential.
No, it's not at all. No, I mean, can you imagine this type of storyline in front of a live crowd?
Yeah.
Booing the hell out of him and cheering Ray. Like, Humberto and Alistair coming in and make a save would actually get a pop, and you'd be like, oh, it's instead of it's these two random guys in the back.
Or the idea of Dominic coming out and beating the crap out of Seth Rollins, where most people still think of him as Eddie Guerrero's son. So you're like, he's beating up a former world champion right now. It's that could be mind-blowing to some, but we don't get that.
No, we don't. And unfortunately, I mean, we're getting robbed all over the place as far as storylines and things go at this point. But
damn you, Rona.
No, I think but that to me my low light. I just wondered if you felt the same, that it just didn't feel like it should.
No, and maybe in a weird way it's a good thing, because that still allows Drew McIntyre to be the spotlight, the top guy on the brand as the champion. And that's not a bad thing, that maybe Seth is a slight step below him right now to let Drew have that time.
And I get that. And I agree that I honestly feel like the MVP Drew Bobby stuff feels bigger.
Right.
And it's just weird that, a redemption story involving your kid and like the redemption of an entire show brand by Seth Rollins feels below this other storyline manager storyline. But nope.
There's been a belief, and we could probably dive into this in greater length, but there's been a belief for a while that Seth can't carry a feud. That he's never been able to. That Seth's feud is only as good as his opponents, which makes sense on paper. You want a great feud, both sides have
to work. But
if you try to look back on Seth's feuds, like the good ones and the bad ones, he's typically not leading them. It's typically like him and Cena was great, but it was a Cena-led feud. So I'd be really curious to go back and look at the highs and lows, the roller coaster of his feuds, to see who carried it. Because
Triple H
is in charge of carrying this right now, and maybe that's why it's lacking.
Yeah. And really, technically, he is in charge of carrying it because he's the one who's at the show, whereas Ray and Dominic are via satellite.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'd be curious. If somebody wants to do that for us, that'd be great, because I'm lazy. But if not, maybe I'll actually do some research in this. And look,
I don't know. We have a very strict, minimal research policy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I Googled something. That's it. That's it.
You didn't even do it right the first time you said.
I never do it right. It's the typing is the bad, the typing and the letters and the
letters and the thing and the
and the Jello pudding pops. It's not good. It's not good. Speaking of not good, thank you for sticking with us. Do appreciate that. At Wrestling Audio on all the socials. Before we go, Ballz, what would you score the week in wrestling?
4 out of 6 lightning bolts.
Okay, pretty consistent. You're pretty safe every week.
The last 3 have been 4, 4.5. Yeah.
And what was better, Fyter Fest or Great American Bash?
Ooh. I actually feel Great American Bash.
Okay. It won in the ratings, but I was just curious what you thought.
Yeah.
I think the highlights out of Fyter Fest were better, but I think overall, top to bottom, NXT.
And that's what I'm saying. AEW definitely had moments where it was but we didn't get into
great Io Shirai and Sasha Banks, which I thought about making this on my 6 things list. You say I'm a Charlotte Flair mark, I'm a Sasha Banks mark. Like, she could do no wrong right now. She is she is at the top of her game right now. It's
don't worry, she'll be injured next week.
Sasha do anything right now.
Don't worry, Sasha will be injured next week.
Probably, but we'll enjoy in the meantime.
It's true.
Yeah.